Hey, what's up, guys? Christopher Stolle back for another Breaking the Fourth Wall weekly podcast, and I am joined today by people that you may know. You probably do if you've been following the show. First and foremost, the Mr. Clean of Pro Wrestling, Mr. Christopher Rudder.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Christopher Rudder. Hello.
I swear he exists.
He is here. We'll get back to his.
No.
There. Wait. Kind of heard him.
Brother?
We went audio to fix the audio issues.
Brother, are you playing a prank on me?
Well, while we wait for Rudder to figure out why his voice has gone out on him, let's meet the Dr. Demento of the group, Mr. Don Smith.
What's happened? I'm actually here.
Hey, joining us.
You know, he does sound like Dr.
Everything.
Demento.
Weird.
I love Dr. Demento, so I worship you, Don.
And
I love Diet Coke and Mentos.
and then of course,
Pinky, actually.
the gentleman who is so nice and so cool and so caring and so apologetic that he would be Canadian if it wasn't for his zip code, Mr. Colin Washburn.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
I fed you to tell me to go fuck myself. And of course,
What a nice guy.
the gorgeous lady of audio podcasting, Miss Serenity Stone.
Hello, hello.
And then the other special guest of the night, ladies and gentlemen, you know her, you've seen her. She had a mullet for a long time. No, this gentleman has been in my life for well over 20 years. Probably can consider him a hemorrhoid. The owner and one of the head DJs of BlindCafeRadio.net, Mr. 2020 Lightning.
That's right, I'm
Blind
Mr. 2020.
Mike.
Good evening, everybody. Glad to see everybody. And it's great to be here. And also, Chris, it's Blind Cafe Radio.
As I said. I'm still wondering how you're seeing everybody.
Ears went out.
Wait a minute, how are you seeing everybody on an audio podcast?
I'm very special.
You're like a fucking bat.
I'm turning my phone over. Videos. Nope.
Oh, now I can see you, Serenity.
I just like their picture.
Well, while we're goofing around, as you guys can tell, this is a special occasion to bring Mr. 2020 involved because Mr. 2020 and I do go way back, but also Serenity and Mr. 2020 do as well. It was a surprise on her that we brought Mike on the show. So, Mike, sit back, relax, and feel free to engage in the topics of conversation that we usually get involved with, and we're going to start off with one of our favorite segments, the top segment of the show. The news buff.
All right, I have my rum and Coke. I'm ready to go.
The news.
Hey, I got my shit.
I've got iced tea. I'm the designated driver.
Fireball for me.
Hey, this is Don Smith from the Life Radio Show. If you've always wanted to learn more about the world of low-budget filmmaking and even lower-budget comedy, tune into the Life Radio Show. You can live stream the show at wwsu1069.org on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, or find us wherever you find podcasts, and like and follow the Life Radio Show on Facebook for live video and other shenanigans.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome to the News Buffet. It's another great weekend, another great week in news. We're going to get you started. Why the News Buffet, you ask? Because it may not be very frickin' good, but there's a lot of it. But we're just going to dive right in. The 2020 Ig Nobel Prize announced a virtual ceremony, including awards for researchers who made knives out of frozen poop and a team of scientists who had an alligator shout after inhaling helium. The Ig Nobel Prizes given out each year by the satirical journal Annals of Improbable Research in a ceremony at Harvard University were distributed in a virtual ceremony Thursday. The Material Science Prize was awarded to Kent State University team who crafted. That's probably closer.
That might sound like it.
Crafted knives out of their own frozen feces as a means of investigating an ethnographic account of an Inuit man who claimed he to have made a knife from his own frozen poop. The Kent team found the knives melted and deteriorated too quickly to be of much use.
I kid you not.
Makes total sense to me. Sometimes they just go to shit like that.
They stab the shit out of each other.
It sounds like he was into
Get
it.
the shit out of
Right,
here.
exactly. Exactly. A group of researchers from Austria and Japan received the Acoustics Prize after putting an alligator in a helium-filled box and having it vocalized. The scientists were aiming to determine whether the vocal communications of crocodilians relate to their body size.
Is that like a new Star Trek
Wait,
race?
what
The
does
crocodile?
the crocodile say?
Wait a minute, is that a joke?
Probably whatever it was, he sounded like one of
Well,
the chipmunks, I'm pretty
Did the
sure.
They make
crocodile
noise?
float? That's my question. Was he flying?
In the helium?
Oh, that'd be cool. They
Should've,
tied
should've.
a rope around his mouth, and he just kind of hung in the air. You gave him to a birthday
'cause
boy.
he's full of helium.
Right. It's flying alligators is the next Sharknado.
Yeah,
That's-
but with bigger eyes. I just see their eyes like,
Oh yeah.
"Wheek." Yeah, like balloons.
Damn, they shot him
Well,
full,
yeah.
full of
It's
helium.
got
They
to
tied
fit
his
somewhere.
They shot him full of helium. They tied his snout shut, and then they put Google eyes on him just so he has bigger eyes. And then
But
stabbed him with a
still,
poop
like-
knife.
Right.
Instead of,
Because that's what to do, and they won a prize for that, so that's
But wait.
great.
what does an alligator say? Like, what does the fox say? Like, what does an alligator say?
I would have to read way further into the article than I care to
Why
do
don't we
that,
get
you know.
Why don't we get some audio and a video clip in here of an actual alligator sound? Because do alligators talk?
And then speed it up as if
Yeah,
if it were
because the regular
helium.
alligator sound is more like a snapping fingers, like a click type sound is when they're talking.
Look,
Are you
we've
sure
got
it's
the
not like a
exclusive.
dinosaur?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
We've got the exclusive audio. Hold on. I think I got it. Hold on. Let me type it in.
Do you?
You guys are assholes.
All right.
I live in the woods, so I hear foxes sometimes up here in Michigan, but I've never heard an alligator up here.
Yeah,
Foxes
I've
actually
never-
sound really weird. They're like a screeching kind of a sound.
You know, it brings a good point. Like if you inhale helium, it lightens your vocal cords because the air density is different. What happens if you shoved helium up your ass and you fart? What does that sound like?
Fire? Fire.
Give it a try and get back with us.
I'll let you know.
Is that where you actually get the hot air? You know, situation?
You are
full
full
of
of water.
Your farts start sounding really weird.
Oh my god. I could just see we represent the lollipop kids on helium. Yep.
Lollipop kids, lollipop kids.
The lollipop
Okay, so
gators.
seriously, I really do want to join this golden ticket thing. I know, kind of off topic, but I still want to join the golden ticket.
That was last week, but still.
I thought
we-
you were about to say really,
Serenity,
really and seriously.
Serenity.
I
We
want to
never
probably-
stray. We never stray from the topic on the news buffet. We must stay on point.
I'm sorry. Okay, so there was an outhouse that had an iPhone in it that was going down the highway that they filmed later, right?
What?
Last week's episode, there was like an outhouse going down the highway that they like had virtual reality to make it real or something. Oh.
I'm playing with sound
So-
effects.
Okay, yeah, that was last week's
Quick
episode.
question
It's
for the
already out
buffet.
there.
Does the buffet ever get food poisoning?
Just
Yeah.
wait, we're not done yet.
Definitely. And apparently we inject helium up your ass too. That's Whatever it takes, really. Whatever it takes to get the news to the people. That's what we do.
It seems
Really
perfectly
bubbling
warm.
up here.
Yeah, see what kind of news bubbles to the surface. Aglio-Kim, a trolley-like robot which uses artificial intelligence, is delivering food to customers at a restaurant in Seoul, South Korea,
Yes.
in order to minimize human contact and help ensure social distancing. Shortly after customers order through a touch screen on the table, the 1.5 meter tall robot developed by South Korean telecoms company KT Corp brings the food and uses a visual SLAM, simultaneous location and mapping capabilities to avoid obstacles and navigate around customers. The robot can deliver up to 4 tables at once. KT's AI platform business team leader Lee Young-jin told Reuters, the AI robot is equipped with food trays which can carry up to 30 kilograms and an LCD screen and speaker to communicate in both Korean and English. Customers found the robot serving quite unique and interesting and also felt safe from the coronavirus, said Lee Young-ho, a manager for the Mad for Garlic restaurant, which has tested the robot this month. And Mad for Garlic definitely sounds like a Korean restaurant, doesn't it?
Yes.
You're still stuck on Lee Young-ho, I know it.
Oh.
Wait, what was
But
the?
you got to think of the amount of money they spent on this technology just to screw over the wait
Oh, yeah.
staff.
Well, wait.
Absolutely.
Well, wait a minute. What was the inventor's name?
What was that?
What was the inventor's
What was
name?
that, Chris?
The inventor, as well as the business team platform, was Lee Young-jin. The manager of the restaurant was Lee Young-ho. What?
Lee-
Jin and Ho. Yeah, we'll just call him Jin and
Lee
Ho.
Hung Lo? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Now the
not us.
robot's name is Aglio-Kim.
Well, Mike, didn't you know a Leanne Ho?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm sorry, that was a bad joke.
I thought the robot was a hoe.
Yeah, we've known a lot of hoes in our day.
Yeah.
I've never met one robotic yet.
Well, no, that's
You know,
not.
they're out there. They're
What
more
happens
expensive.
When you talk back to one of those robots at a restaurant.
Well,
Well,
dude,
yeah, I'm optimistic though.
Can I
there's.
have some ketchup with my sushi?
Ugh.
I mean, this is not unheard of,
They
though.
don't know what ketchup is.
Yeah. My food is cold. How stupid can you be?
I mean, this
Stupid robots. Why can't you?
isn't unheard of. There's
Yeah, I
shopping.
believe that's when the robot revolution starts, right there.
There's grocery stores out here in Pennsylvania right now, and probably all over the world. But in Pennsylvania, giant food markets are using robot cleaners. You know, like when you got to clean up in aisle 5 or whatever, they got this robot thing that's like creepy as shit. Looks like something from like fucking Lost from Space. That actually goes and
Pushing
like
chemicals out.
vacuum cleans up the whole entire
Just like
aisle.
Fifth Element. Yes.
Well,
Really?
no, you
Just like
think it's
Fifth Element.
vacuum cleaning it. Okay, I've seen this shit. This shit's all over in China. It looks like they're vacuuming stuff, but they're actually like spraying steam and chemicals and all kinds of stuff into the air and onto the surfaces, supposedly to keep us clean. But, you know,
Look, all I know is this is how you get
Coronavirus.
Terminators. This is how.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right here, right now. With all this new technology going on and these robots, you're gonna have a group out there that's gonna start up and saying we are being racist against robots.
Yep. This is how you get
Oh, yeah,
Terminators, folks.
that's not, we're not far from that now.
Or
Robots have actually feelings.
or robots are discriminating against us. One of the two will do.
Yeah, robots are people too.
That'll be the redneck argument on the other side. They
Equal-
took our
equal
job.
robot pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what all the South Korean wait staff are saying is they took our job.
They took our job. How could they take our job?
This is how they justified paying
Speaking of
$15 an hour.
Speaking of dangerous things in the air, officials in a Quebec town called Asbestos said a planned vote on a new name for the municipality might be delayed after negative public reaction to the local council's options. Phoenix, Apolloni, Troylock, and Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Mayor Hughes Grim. Jeffrey. changing the name of asbestos to Jeffrey, because somebody has a kid named Jeffrey and sits on the council, I'm guessing.
Probably.
Mayor Hugues, and this is Hugues, so it's not Hugo. I don't know what the only thing I can come up with is Hugues. Grimard said Friday, which if you have a name like that, you might as well live in asbestos and not change it.
Yeah.
4 days after the name options were unveiled, that the local council is looking into other potential names after some of the town's 7,000 residents reacted negatively to the suggestions. The names that were all originally slated to be voted on October 14th to 18th were Phoenix, the French version of the mythical Firebird Phoenix. It's just Phoenix without an O, because I don't know if they misspelled it. Apollone, the species of turtle. Troloc, which means 3 lakes in English, and Jeffrey, the name of the man who operated the town's first asbestos mine. Just Jeffrey. They didn't bother to give him a last name because they figured he'd be dead in a few months anyway.
Look, he was a guy with his name on the shirt.
He's,
They didn't
he's
care.
digging asbestos out of the mine. He's not going to make it. Why give him a last name at this point?
You know, like, jokes aside, though, that seems like, as silly as it is, Jeffrey seems like it would be the most respectful name to replace asbestos. Because
That's
one,
right.
it ties into asbestos. He was the first guy on the trucks for asbestos in town. It almost seems fitting that it would be Jeffrey. But really?
Yeah, because it's way more innocent.
Right.
That's way more innocent than cancer or tumor.
Yeah.
So yeah, go different.
Right. And why would you name it after a species of turtle? Are they known for their turtles? No, they're known for their asbestos. I'm going with Jeffrey on that, you know.
Yeah, I think I vote Jeffrey.
You didn't have a turtle down in that mine.
And then I'm going to deep
Why
cut
not?
this.
Exactly. Let's
I'm going to deep cut this. They should name it
I'm going to
Jeffrey.
get a hold of Mayor
They should name it Jeffrey, and they should change their.
I'm going to get a hold of Mayor Hugues.
That's it. Get a hold of Mayor Hugues. Tell him you change it to Jeffrey, and you change your fucking city flag to a mosquito. That's a deep cut.
Right.
It makes you wonder, like,
While you're at it, Hugues, change that shit because nobody knows what it is. These Canadian mayors just don't know.
Yeah, like who? What do they name the maraschino cherry after some guy named Maraschino? I mean, and other stuff. What do they name? I mean, like, okay, Chernobyl, was that the guy who screwed up?
Well, that's
Yeah. Well, it was named Chernobyl before the meltdown. It was. That's how we know it is the meltdown. It was already named that, you know.
Chernobyl was the city that it was in.
Right. They didn't have the meltdown and say, let's change the name of, you know, this turtle to fucking Chernobyl.
That's it. They didn't change.
Yeah, but they name everything weird.
Yeah, but they didn't name.
They'll name some like Hurricane something or other, like Hurricane Serenity.
Wait. I like the last. Wait, a few hurricanes ago, I guess there was Hurricane Nana, and I love that. I have a grandmother who's 104, almost 105. And I call her Nana. So Hurricane Nana, I was so happy they finally did not a name.
Look,
Nana's cool. What about a Russian snowcat and they changed its name to Chernobyl? That would be pretty fucking fierce.
Not really, because they
snowcat,
when the accident happened in Chernobyl, they didn't change the name of the city, but they changed the Russian word for mutated to Chernobyl. So I mean,
Right? I was thinking of a
they've been Chernobyl.
Yeah.
you will never get laid. Translated as Chernobyl.
Police.
Never.
If you do, it won't come for anything. Like, shit.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, police in Britain responded to an early morning call from a man who became trapped in a pair of handcuffs in an apparent case of romance gone awry. The Greater Manchester Police Rockdale Station said officers responded to a home at 4:30 a.m. Friday to help a couple having difficulty with a pair of handcuffs. The department's tweet said, male phone requesting help as his girlfriend had locked him in some handcuffs and they couldn't find the key. Wanted police as he feared the fire brigade would cut them and they were expensive. Police said the man was released from the cuffs, but the department did not say whether the expensive restraints were damaged in the rescue.
If you're really horny, but you're on a
Sometimes,
Does it really matter?
I think, and who isn't horny on a budget these days? I mean, COVID's hit a lot of people pretty hard. The economy ain't what it used to be. Save the cuffs, because you're gonna meet somebody later.
That $14.99 counts.
You're gonna want to reuse them.
Were they fuzzy?
Exactly.
Were they at least fuzzy?
I would hope. They didn't show a picture, and this is an audio podcast today, so I couldn't even share a picture if it did show it. So,
Hold on, honey. We'll get those off you.
They didn't show it, and I'm not allowed to share.
Hold on, honey.
Blind Mike. We're all blind Mike today.
Hold on, honey.
Yeah. We make our guests feel comfortable.
So here's definitely, you can't see me.
Hold on, honey. We'll get those off you. Groovy.
Was that to get the handcuffs off or what?
Yeah, we're cutting the handcuffs
Right, I guess
off.
we're like the opposite of Verizon now. It's like, can you see me now?
Can you just
Very
hear me
good.
now? Yeah.
All right, we'll hit one more. Transportation officials in a British city responded to a viral photo from a municipal bus by reminding residents that snakeskin is not an acceptable material for face masks, especially when it's still attached to the snake. The photo snapped aboard a Manchester bus show a man sitting aboard the vehicle with a live snake wrapped around his mouth and neck, apparently on purpose. A witness told the Manchester Evening News the man initially appeared to be wearing, quote, a really funky mask until the snake started to move around. It was definitely entertaining, she said. The photos show the man not wearing a face mask underneath the snake. The transport of Greater Manchester representative said passengers are required to wear face masks on city buses to protect them from the COVID-19 pandemic. This didn't need to be a surgical mask. Passengers can make their own mask or wear something suitable, such as a scarf or bandana, the representative told CNN. While there is a small degree of interpretation that can be applied to this, we do not believe it extends to the use of snakeskin, especially when still attached to the snake.
Dude, all I have in my head right now is like, you remember the old Flintstones cartoons where like they had like dishwashers and all that, and they were like birds and elephants and shit. And after they got done, yeah, it's a living, or you think your job sucks,
And the picture that popped in my head was the Cobra.
Yeah, G.I. Joe. The more you know.
I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking bus.
I just did a story that a woman found a 4-foot python in her shower.
What? Why did she put?
Oh yeah. I've reported on a lot of snakes coming up out of toilets.
I mean, like,
she found,
did she?
Very
find
damn
it?
good.
Yeah.
she found it very pleasurable.
Yeah, she did.
It was like getting.
How did you get in my shower?
That was my question, because on my show I just said that. Wait a minute, it sounds like fake news to me, because how would a snake in a shower, unless someone put it in there? I mean, it's not going to climb up through the drain. It's not going to come through the shower.
No, it's a cover, man, because it was her pet that got a little bit too frisky, I guess.
Look, she was shooting. She was shooting
By the way, it was a ball python too. It was in Chicago when this happened.
She was shooting a brand new album cover for a brand new '80s cover band called Shower Snake. Okay, because back in the '80s, all bands had names that like either had color or an animal in it. So
some of them both, like
some of them
White
both,
Snake.
like White Snake, Great
I
White.
believe the White Snake's slightly smaller.
Yeah.
It's always
Not as much as other races.
Was it a cold shower? That'll depend on how small the snake was.
Well, exactly. That's all she had to do. She found a 4-foot snake in the shower, turned the cold water on. It was a 2-foot snake.
Or back in the 80s, you just tell the woman that you're with, hey, you want to pet my snake?
So soon we're going to have videos of some woman taking a shower on top of a car with a 4-foot snake.
Shot in winter. Where did this
oh, yeah.
two-foot snake come from?
I would say check out Pornhub. They're already there. I've heard.
Oh, good cover on that one. Yeah.
As long as Don shares it.
Yeah. Or so I'm told. I've never seen stuff like that.
Yeah, my stomach just turned, and I'm all like, really? That exists? I'm like, what? Like, no. Like, really, guys, is it really that sick of a world where that shit might exist?
There is a fetish for everything. I swear to God, you go right now onto Google and you type in two midgets in a drawer, you will find a porn for it. Okay.
I have a story. Oh my God. Okay, so
That's a callback to
That's
Plague.
a man that knows what he wants right there. And he knows how to
I
get
have a
it.
friend who told me that her boyfriend had a fetish. Okay, so I looked up online later what that fetish was. I couldn't remember the name of it, so I just did like the Wikipedia of sexual fetishes. There is a fucking fetish for everything. Like if you're attracted to spiders.
Oh yeah.
Who the fuck looks at a spider and says, I want to fuck that? Like, come on. I'm sorry, but
No,
there's
they'll just
too many.
climb all over you.
But
Yeah.
I gotta
Just care
say,
about her.
no. I don't want to believe any of this really exists.
Well, come on.
It exists.
Serenity, I mean, take a look at some of the new sex toys out there where they've got alien penises that actually shoot out like jelly, I guess covered, little egg things into you for you to be able to pop back out. These things actually exist. Alien dicks that look like tentacles and shit.
Hold on here. Can you share a photo of what you are talking about? Because I went to Hustlers on Hollywood Boulevard.
He's gonna go into his personal photo
No,
library.
I
for
know
that.
he has to.
You have no idea.
Hard drive. I'm
Or
just saying,
pull
like,
the alien midget out of your drawer, Chris.
No, seriously? I have never heard of what the fuck you're talking about, but it sounds like artificial intelligence has gone too far.
It sounds like only guys know of these things and like really weird, fucked up chicks, maybe. Serenity thinks weird on that job. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Or maybe Chris just has a jelly donut fetish.
And what's your Pornhub search look like, Chris, to actually fucking know this? God damn.
Wait. You actually have a Pornhub search?
Yeah.
That gives you like an algorithm?
There is
Yeah.
a history.
How the hell are you
How
gonna
do you-
find your kink
yeah.
if you can't search
You
it?
know this, you guys.
Look at things. Yeah.
The main page on Pornhub doesn't have the sick shit he's looking for.
You have to dig
You
a
have
little
to go
deeper.
down that rabbit hole to find somebody going
Oh my
down
God.
a rabbit hole.
You have to
So
be
here's
really
the-
All right.
come up with.
All right.
Fetishes for rabbit holes?
What is
20.
Okay, so this is why my video shows me like Care Bears having fun, is because like my stuff is all PG, man. You guys are all
Yeah,
in
that's right.
different...
Care Bears can do it over the rainbow too, you know.
Well, I'm just
Exactly.
saying my algorithm would be totally
Care
different.
Bears need loving too.
I'd have the cartoons and craziness, I bet. Like,
Oh,
There's
so
definitely
that's
a porn,
fetish is,
a porn
Care
section with
Bears
porn.
All right, guys.
have laying next to her.
All right, guys. In the group chat, you'll see a picture of what I was talking about. But the funny thing about it is I accidentally sent it to our publicist first.
You have to describe the picture, Bowser.
Nice.
Sent that to
You have to describe the picture, Bowser.
It is a purple cock with like a suction cup head. And from the back of it is you can shove the egg in to actually shoot
Okay.
it into your body.
Describe it.
okay, it completely looks like a plastic mushroom that instead of bloomed, deflated.
Serenity, our question as a female, does this in any way look fucking enjoyable, or do you have one weird friend who you think would like it?
Which,
You know,
by the way,
think
I
might
will.
have a gay friend in Hollywood that might take it up the ass, but like, like other than him, you know, I really don't see a woman. I'm sorry, the shape, the distinctions in it are not what a woman
She's talking
is
about the
looking
vein for anybody who's listening.
Yes. It's not like us chicks are like, oh my God, if we can't see his veiny no, we don't go into that. No,
Yeah.
but I know a few guys in Hollywood who might. I don't know. It's deflated, you guys. What the fuck?
You know some guys you could go to work on this, and you know somebody who might look like this, is what you're saying?
Well, I know a few random dick pictures that look like that, but
I'm going to remain quiet.
You know, from
That's awesome.
It is after all an alien dick, so we don't know what they really look like.
Why was it?
That's an artist's rendering of what his imagined alien penis would look like.
Okay, so
From the world
He
of
took a little.
Metalhead.
It took a little, and I say he because you know a woman didn't come up with this shit.
Apparently not.
But he took a little artistic advantage there, a little artistic
Well,
license.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
How do you know aliens aren't really women, but are, with men's body as in aliens? And then women aliens could actually be the men.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
What if
Some alien
CAT?
woman's gonna come down and rape me.
What if
Some alien
CAT
woman's gonna
really
come and rape
spelled
me,
dog?
and I'm gonna have to give birth. Are you kidding me?
Something has gone horribly
wait,
skewed.
why does it have to squirt things out of it?
sometimes you got to take one for the team,
Like,
Colin.
What is the purpose of these jelly ball things coming out of it? Like, that just sounds like constipation to me. Like,
Fill it with caviar.
I think that's a. Yeah. Why does it ejaculate? Yeah, that's a question. Yeah.
Hairballs.
Well,
is it
again,
so women could
Fill
feel
with
like they're
tapioca.
getting like
This-
impregnated by an alien. Is that a fetish? I'm sure that's a fetish somewhere. Like,
That-
I
that-
want to get
that-
pregnant by an alien.
that is literally the fetish. Because when I heard that these things existed, I looked it up on YouTube, and it's actually on YouTube. That the manufacturing of it and the purpose of it, and they say because women like the feeling of not only it shooting into them, but them being able to pass it back out.
Oh, dude! There goes dinner.
And this is what happens when we lose control of the news buffet. I'm going to sign off now with the immortal words of comedian Larry Reeb. It's a sick world. I'm a happy guy, folks. All right, take it back.
Damn, I was just gonna get in the plunger.
Oh, yeah, and I just pulled up the Philadelphia News saying sexiest. It's the newest sexual fetish, getting alien eggs laid inside you. What? And it's from Philly, so you gotta trust it.
Oh, of course.
And you guys thought I was
If they're not-
bullshit.
Fill it
If
with
they're not
tapioca.
going to burst forth from your chest when they're grown into infancy, then I don't fucking want anything to do with them.
Yeah, well, you could fill it with
horrible.
tapioca, and that would be kind of sticky. But if you fill it with caviar, it gets a little fishy.
Oh, man. Oh, gross. Okay, so it is called ovipositor? An ovipositor is what that sex toy is called.
What kind of pasta?
It's
It's a linguine. Yeah.
That's
ovipositor.
Was that a
picture
linguine pasta there, Serena?
Linguine pasta, yeah.
I would rather
Ovipositor.
have pasta. Oh my god, dude! Seriously, these things are huge. These balls are fucking huge. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Well, she just got turned on.
Oh no, I'll share it in the group chat.
No, not.
Hold on, I'll share it in the group chat if I can get a
I
picture.
did so that if you just start scrolling down on that, you'll see the images I saw. Oh god, that's some. I can't jump that shit. They're like the size of like, I don't know, a 6-month-old
Like a
baby.
traffic cone? Like a traffic cone? Yeah.
And aren't our listeners glad this is an audio podcast today?
Because
I'm actually glad it's an audio podcast.
well, let me ask you, Mike, with Blind
She's
Cafe,
hard, but
with
I'm not even gonna
Yeah,
look.
when the visual grosses out the blind guy, there's a problem.
let me ask you, Mike.
Okay, Houston, we have a problem.
Mike, let me ask you a question. With blindcafe.net, would you want to rebroadcast Breaking the Fourth Wall right now?
Well, I would, but it would probably be my last podcast.
Yeah.
We'd be breaking that fourth wall, you know?
Yeah, you would be
No,
broken.
I'd probably be getting broken over the head
It's
right now.
definitely broken.
I wish we were still on Radiocast FM because I guarantee you some Karen would be like, he needs to apologize.
Those Karens.
Speaking of it,
Yep, I love alien penis, and I feel offended and attacked by them.
There you go, Chris. Start up a chat line and get people's opinions while you're doing the fourth wall.
There you go.
And then you can make fun of their comments.
Which is what we pretty much do anyway.
Yeah.
You gotta have goals.
Oh, that's cool.
Covered in KY jelly and
literally.
and shot through a dick straw.
Would it be women's walls?
oh God. Yeah, that's breaking the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
breaking the wall.
hurt. Just looking at that picture makes me want to hurl.
Oh, don't lie. As soon as
this, right.
as soon as we're done this episode, you're running out to the store right now, ain't you?
She's drooling right now. What are you talking about?
That's a horrible thing.
Oh no, I've already started a Pornhub account under Chris's name.
Yay!
So I can get his algorithm.
All two people happy to watch it.
I don't want it.
Give me better memories, please.
Well, I know who can give us better memories. That would be our next segment, and our good friend who runs it, Mr. Chris Rudder. I mean, going from alien penises to movies, it makes sense to me anyway. It's What's Your Effin' Deal?
What's Your Effin' Binge is a podcast brought to you by Chris, Anchor, and Spotify. And what we talk to our guest about is what they're currently binge watching on TV. And what we do is we like to take a different approach. I don't want to know what the name of the show is that they're going to talk about before they come on. I have to actually guess it. So I ask them who, what, when, where, why, and try to figure out what it is that they're watching. A lot of times I'm able to guess it, and sometimes I'm not, and that's fine. That adds to the comedy of the show. We like to bring our guest on, whether they're a model or an actress or a producer or musician, and just let them have a platform to be able to tell everybody what they have coming up next, and also entertain everybody with what's worth watching. So I hope everybody tunes in for the next episode of What's Your Effin' Binge. Thanks. It's Chris.
What's your FN deal?
2, 1.
Hey everybody, it's Chris from What's Your Effin' Deal. Just want to take a quick moment here and look at the year in review whenever it comes to streaming your television. During the pandemic, we've all been locked in our houses for a while, so everybody has really caught on to binging a lot of different shows. So just real quick, from the panel, what are the shows that you guys have binged in the past 30 days?
Cobra Kai. In a day.
That's right. That's right.
I'm totally addicted to Ratchet.
Ratchet,
right now.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Don?
I went kind of like old school Scottish TV with Still Game.
Ooh, yeah, Still Game. Very cool. All right. Colin?
I've been binging Breaking the Fourth Wall.
Okay, cool.
Yay!
That's what she said.
I know a couple.
He's been
Rock on.
A couple show, and and this one chick. But yeah, very cool. No, seriously, what TV have you actually watched?
I don't really watch that much television. I was
I know
with a
you work in a
girl.
restaurant like I do. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And Blind Mike, what have you binge listened?
I was waiting to see if you would actually ask that question. Hey, believe it or not, I watch a lot of Netflix, and let's see, I watched the entire Cobra Kai. I'm still on season 12 of the Supernatural, and I'm also watching the second season of the Oak of Curse Island.
Oh, the Oak of Curse Island is a very good show. So guess what?
The Curse of Oak Island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Curse of Oak Island.
Yeah, the Curse of Oak Island. It's very cool.
Wait,
So guess what?
let me ask everyone, does everyone believe they will find something or not?
Nope.
Nope.
Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter if they found anything or not, because the people that are in the show, they all got rich already.
Yeah, but you know what? It does matter, because I'll point you back to Lost for how endings are. How important endings are.
Yeah, I don't know. They're dumping like $2 million on another crane to tear some more shit up. So I don't know.
And these guys came in.
Yeah, but they're making 10 million as in all the sponsors.
That's true. That's true.
And they came into the show
Mostly
already
equipment.
loaded. They own
Yeah.
a huge wine company,
Yeah.
and so they were already close to billionaires before they started doing this. But they are actually
Well, now I hate them.
yeah. And so they are actually turning a profit, but it's very minuscule compared to what the wine business and restaurant business they're involved in. But guess what? Here's the deal: the rest of America does not agree with any of you. Your shows are not even mentioned in the top 15 of the best, most streamed shows.
It
According
must be soap operas.
If it's cuties,
So
I'm going to be so
here
mad.
we go.
I'm cool with that.
Okay, if Game of Thrones isn't on here, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, this is of 2020, so Game of Thrones would not be
Oh,
on it
shit.
regardless.
That's
Okay.
Mr. 2020 to you.
Oh, very good, very good. So at number 11, we do have one show that both Don Smith and I have talked about, What We Do in the Shadows, season number 2. After that, it gets to be
Love it.
very obscure. For anybody who has not seen What We Do in the Shadows, both Don and I rated that at 8 and 8.5 for shows to watch right now. After that, it becomes shows that I guarantee it, you have never heard of. Let's start off with one. Have you heard of Feel Good?
Only with an alien
No.
penis.
Uh-huh.
Wait,
You admit that, Chris.
Or so Don Smith told me.
He's not telling on himself any more than he already has.
So on my episode, Stolle has come out of the closet. I got you. So, Feel Good is an intimate portrait of addiction and love. Let's go on to another show that you probably haven't fucking heard of. A Secret Love is number 5. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, alien penis.
I had one.
Yeah, I dumped her.
What are they basing this off of? American TV or?
This is off of streamed content off of the streaming platforms. Yes, it's so
all
crazy.
of them?
It's
So
so crazy.
Hulu, Netflix, all of them?
All of them put together. These are the most
I have
streamed.
all of them,
And
I
it's
literally
worldwide.
have not heard of any of that shit.
And
Right.
it's
Okay.
worldwide, right?
So now number 4, Athlete A. A harrowing yet essential viewing of Athlete A shines unforgiving light on the horrific abuses of athletes. That's number 4. Have you heard of that?
No.
I've heard of it. Haven't watched it.
I wouldn't even
I've
admit
seen
that
it.
I heard of it.
I've seen it when I was
Sorry.
browsing through.
Okay, all right. So number 3, Welcome to Chechnya, an illuminating and urgent call to action. Welcome Chechnya portrays the horrors of the mass persecution of the LGBTQ community in the Chechen Republic. Have we heard of that show?
Yeah, it's called CNN.
Chechnya?
Yeah, Welcome to
I've heard of
Chechnya.
Chechnya.
And then following at number 1, On the
Oh, wait.
Record.
Number 1 has to be the 11-year-old dancers, the strippers on Netflix.
Not yet. Give that a few
Oh,
more
okay.
months. Number
Okay.
1 is On the Record. It uses harrowing first-person accounts to powerfully and persuasive confronts the entrenched sexism of the industry and the culture of the record industry. The top 10 of what Rotten Tomatoes has put out as the best streamed shows of 2020 is full of all this sexual exploitation and all of this super over-the-top commentary on things that are going on. If anybody were to look at a show to watch off of this list, would you have watched any of these shows?
Fuck no.
No.
Wait. Do we know if this? I mean, this is kind of like proof that they have control over these lists, because I don't think anyone, and I could talk to 1,000 people, I don't think anyone has heard of even the number 1 about the record industry. Like, dude.
Right. So you and I are in agreement on this, and what I'm bringing to the table is this is a Rotten Tomatoes TV list for 2020. And
That's bullshit.
Bottom line, it's just fake news.
Exactly.
Yep.
There we
Right.
go.
It's what they're trying to. It's what they're trying to force you to
It's what
watch.
they're
Seriously,
trying to
that's bullshit.
drive people into watching, and what they're trying to maybe mold the culture or the lexicon or the zeitgeist, whatever you want to call it. They're trying to actually force the narrative of what's going on in this year, and they're totally circumventing anything that's gone on with COVID, anything that's going on with what's going on in America right now. If you're talking about documentaries, why wouldn't you show something like that? There are many shows this year that have actually captured America's imagination. They're total dumpster juice and filth as far as like a never-ending parade of human debris. But like Tiger King isn't even on this list. Everybody.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're talking about
Yeah.
Tiger King, aren't you?
Right?
What about
Tiger
Gothic?
King?
Gothic
Tiger King is number 48 on this list.
Gotham. Sorry.
So they're saying 47 more shows have more viewers and more critical response than Tiger King, and that was the show of the summer. It's
There were
just
so many memes
amazing
about
they're able to
that.
put this list together.
It just goes to show to the argument that we've made numerous times
So they're
on this
trying to
show.
con us.
It's just going back to that statement over and over again that we've made numerous times on this show in general, that entertainment needs to stay out of political platforms. They need to stay the fuck out of it because you're not helping the situation.
advertising,
Yeah.
yep. It's advertising.
Well, in the bottom line, who cares about 6 fucking people wondering, saying, oh, we've never heard these?
Hey,
Well,
hey.
Yeah.
I gotta
so
say,
at the end of the day, I would like for people to respond to this segment and say if you did watch it or if you didn't. And if you haven't watched it, what's your take on these kinds of shows being forced by Rotten Tomatoes? And if you have watched it, tell us how the fuck you found it. I do a binging review TV show for that's my gig, and I have not heard of any of these shows I have talked about other than What We Do in the Shadows, which was number 11. Better Call Saul was number 15, and the Parks and Recreation, where they all came back together and did the social distancing video on Zoom, that was number 8. That would be those are the only 3 shows in the top 20 of this fucking list of the best TV shows of 2020 by Rotten Tomatoes. I just cannot fathom how they were able to put this together. And if you're a conspiracy guy like I am, like, aren't they forcing a narrative of some like really crazy shit? If this is
They
what
are. I agree.
I really think it's almost almost a criminal endeavor to put this together and say these are the best shows for anybody out there who thinks they're highbrow and they're going to watch something that's on the top 10 list of something. Like, you're going to put this narrative in front of people, that's kind of fucked up.
Well,
but what's going on now is you just mentioned the top 10, so everybody that reads this podcast, they're gonna like, oh, we got to watch these. So
right,
you know,
right, and that's what I'm saying. So if this is how you got to that show, let us know in the comments. And also, just keep in mind, there's many of us on the show, or also who listen to it, who do comedy sketches, and this is the same network that rated Dave Chappelle's latest special as a 0 before they released it to the public. So, I mean, it's just really weird how they were able to allow people to come up with these lists on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a frequently sourced, material.
Hey, look, I could state it this way as far as David Chappelle is concerned. I've never thought he was funny. He's never been my humor. He's never been my style of humor. That said,
I don't think it's going to be funny.
Dave Chappelle was brilliant 10 years ago.
His newest special, to rate it a 0 on critical acclaim, like, even if you don't like him, you're going to laugh at a couple things.
Well, that's where I was going with it.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, that was a fake laugh.
That's where I was going with it. As much as I myself may not be a personal fan of Dave Chappelle, I recognize the fact that he is loved by a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people. He ranks up there with people he ranks up there with people like Adam Sandler, who, again, I don't get the humor, but other people do. How can you say he's the greatest black comedian of modern day in every special he's done, every appearance on Mad TV or whatever else that he's done, and Half Baked and everything else, but one special where he turns around and he talks bad about your narrative, you rate him a 0 and then claim you're non-biased? Bullshit.
Yes. That's the thing. This Rotten Tomatoes is a hugely again, it's a very, very well-sourced piece of information and material for a lot of people. They quote it very often. You can look at even if you get TV Guide online, TV Guide on your TV, if you on your cable service. Some of them show like the TV Guide today, and they show their stuff, and they're linked to them. Like they're it's almost or almost criminal, I guess is the right word, where they're actually like forcing this on people. It's just another example of fake news being used in entertainment. It's kind of a fucked up thing to me.
It's all around. I mean, you go on YouTube. I watch.
Right, Chris. I hear exactly what you're saying.
I'm a conservative by nature, okay? Like as far as my political points of view, I watch conservative talk shows on YouTube, and it gets interrupted with Joe Biden commercials. I mean, they are forcing the opinion as much as they can.
Yeah. And on the opposite side, people who watch CNN will say the same thing. And, that's one thing with news and politics, because they're supposed to be equal showing. Right? Mm-hmm. But whenever it comes to something like this that's supposed to be unbiased, proliferated by commercialism and blah, 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 all of this shit where it's all critically and fan-driven, to have a list put out like this is almost insulting if you were to think about it, at least the way I look at these things.
I agree, Chris.
Looking at TV shows to review and looking at TV shows that are binge-worthy. For my show, this is just, like, how can any of these things be fucking binged by people who have half a brain?
Right.
Well, yeah, to me it makes no sense, because you look at things in the manner of, okay, like when Game of Thrones came out, right? I was out in Denver, and me and Serenity were like totally talking about this show all the time. So I actually downloaded the first season, and everywhere I went, somebody would be like, "Oh, I watched an episode of Game of Thrones," blah blah blah. Your friends talk about stuff that they watch on TV. They talk about it among each other. So for them to not be talking about it and still watching these shows to get these ratings and these numbers up there sounds like bullshit to me, because I would have heard my friends, "Oh, I'm watching this show. I've been watching that show," but I'm not hearing none of that. So it sounds like it's a bunch of crap.
Right.
It absolutely is. And again, it just goes back to, like I said before, it goes right back to the fact that entertainment, no matter what form of entertainment, music, sports, fucking movies, television shows, should leave their narratives the fuck out of it. Just put out entertainment.
It's time to get a toilet flush going there, Chris, because we're going to flush that list right down the toilet.
Exactly. That's where it belongs. That's where it belongs. But no, seriously, because like people go to these mediums, these forms of entertainment to escape everyday life. If we want those narratives jammed down our throat, we'll watch the fucking local news. Or the DNC or RNC debates on TV. We don't need sitcoms and dramas and everything else revolving around the shit we're surrounded with every fucking minute of every fucking day. It's stupid. It's brainwashing. It's not. It's not entertainment.
The one really odd thing to me is out of this critically acclaimed list and everything is that 7 of the 8 shows I mentioned all focused and revolved around some sort of sexual deviation. Mm-hmm. Whether it's normalized or not, just bringing these things up as like critically acclaimed shows like that's just, I don't know if that, it's just such a weird narrative for a company like this to put out that's, a sourced media group.
Well, we're gonna file it right where Mike asked us to file it.
Put it in the toilet, man.
Bye-bye.
I say we make our own documentary about people who want to be impregnated by purple alien penises.
I'm telling you,
dude. That'll be next year's #1.
Dude,
filled with caviar.
No bullshit. Right here, right now, since we're talking about it. No bullshit. Right here, right now. Who would want me for not right away, but like say a month down the road, we do a segment where I actually go for the next month. I go out, I get one of these fucking alien penises, and I go out and approach women and ask them would they use it. Not actually get them to use it, but like.
I dare you to do that.
I think you'll get arrested, Chris.
Yeah. Probably.
Chris, you better check with your wife first.
You might get arrested. Make sure she has the bail. Come on.
Check with your wife first. See if she'll use it.
Alien
He doesn't need to
proposition
check
or
with her, just have her as the camera person.
Yeah. If I gave it to her, I'd never get it back.
Okay, you're gonna get
I would say-
it without the big, huge, giant caviar balls.
Yeah.
So again, everybody, that's this week with What's Your Effing Deal. Thank you very much.
Dude, we should have a fucking contest with it. We should get two of them and like we'll take turns and see who can shoot the alien egg the longest, the farthest.
I think we're going
I got to sign with Serenity on this one. Let's keep the purple alien penises off the show.
Yeah, you know, I really gotta say, I'm gonna have nightmares. Like,
Unless we can make a full-length movie out of it, then we can get it on Chris's list.
There you go. Hey, maybe I'll make it on the Rotten Tomatoes list.
It can even be a series.
Oh God.
It'll be
I'm
binge
gonna
worthy.
have it for years.
What's that one taxi cab or van show they do where they pick them up on the porn channel? Yeah, they could do that with the purple alien dick.
Wait, there's a porn channel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what the name of it is, but
Ask Don. It's on his list.
You notice how Serenity acts so innocent?
No, I have Cinemax. Okay.
Cinemax.
Yeah, Cinemax.
So
is
I
the same
pay.
thing as,
That's like Sesame Street photography right there. Cinemax.
Yeah, but that's porn for
Hey,
chicks.
I got some
Skinemax.
Oh wait, no,
there,
that's
man.
Skinemax. Yeah, Skinemax.
Yeah,
Cinemax.
Cinemax.
Yeah, that's porn for chicks. They watch it because for
You
a
know
reason.
what?
Yeah.
I watched it for the fair, and I couldn't get past season 1. It just was wretched and just horrible. Like, I couldn't watch it.
They
but
whipped
I
out
just-
this alien dick, and it was just.
I got 3 free months, so just
You know,
I'm going
3
with
months
it.
of Cinemax.
So,
Yeah.
Hey,
so
free
watch
is
the
free.
late night stuff. Watch the late night stuff and learn some stuff.
If you guys have any recommendations for me, please put them in the comments because I'm new to this and my algorithm must be off. Okay?
Don't ask our listeners to sing you recommendations. You will see shit like
really,
blue waffles.
Don't do that. I guarantee those demographics
What is
is like
Serenity's
85%
email
male.
address out loud?
Yeah, don't ask the fans for that. You'll get shit like fucking check out blue waffles. You don't want that stuff in your life, okay?
You know what? I would. You know, I would totally check it out.
Two
the
girls, one
listeners,
cup.
They might know something I don't. So.
2 girls, 1
You
left.
probably know a lot.
Yeah.
Oh
You
man.
know, Chris, I kind of feel like this whole show so far has been an After Dark segment.
It really
It
pretty much
almost
has.
has. Yeah.
An after-hour
I
segment.
kind of feel like you guys are all
man.
pranking
Well,
me.
After Dark, actually.
No, I have to take that as a pun.
This episode is us as kids with cable but didn't have Cinemax, so you're flipping channels back and forth real quick, hoping to see a titty in the flip over before it tells you have
And
to
the
pay for
Spice
this.
Channel,
Yeah.
I always called that the Picasso channel because you turn it on, there'd be a boob up in the upper left corner and another one down in the lower right, and it'd be like a Picasso painting. You wouldn't know what the hell was going on. You just have to have a
Bring it back.
really good abstract imagination.
Y'all are bringing back wild childhood memories because you remember I grew up in a strip joint, right?
Yeah.
All my friends would come over and we'd be watching TV, watching cartoons on to television, right? Well, the couch was angled, so if you turned your head to the left, you're looking straight down the hall. Well, that's where the dancers' rooms were, and they were always wandering around there with boobs flopping and stuff, or whatever.
Flopping.
No shirts on or whatever.
Must have been
And
the
my
day
buddies are
shift.
like, as soon as that door opened, as soon as they heard that door open, their heads turned to the left real quick, and then they're like, "Oh, I saw a boob! I saw a boob!" It was hilarious. I was always cracking up and messing with them, teasing them.
Jesus Christ. I never wanted your life so bad.
He was de-virginized before he was even like 9, just by his eyes.
Yeah, I know too much.
Yeah, you're
All right,
lucky.
Chris, I gotta head out of here, dude.
All right, Mike. Well, before you go, tell everybody about blindcafe.net and blindcaferadio.net and where they can catch it and the shows you got going on. Let everybody know about it.
Well, blindcafe.net is a organization. It's a charity, actually. It's a 501c3 where we actually have team talk, where we have other blind people on team talk, and we help them become more sociable in life. And if they need equipment, we provide that, as in, so they don't have to go through all that red tape through the government to get equipment. So we help with that as well. As for blindcaferadio.com, that is internet radio station that we have 90% of blind DJs on there that are coming along quite well. So if you guys want to check it out, that would be a cool thing.
Absolutely. And
That's awesome and admirable of you.
And guys, definitely check it out.
Mike.
Check it out. I mean, we at Realm of the Mist. Well, I at Realm of the Mist actually do one of the DJ shows for you guys on Monday nights.
Every Monday night at 11 o'clock.
Yep, Raise the Underground. So guys, make sure you're checking it out. Not just my show, but like all of it, because it is for a really good cause. So definitely go check that out. It's one of the main reasons I wanted Mike on, besides to give Serenity a thrill. That and alien penises.
Well, at least I know
Caviar.
to get Serenity for Christmas now.
Oh, hell no.
Can you get
we better talk later, Mike.
Can you get the Stitch version from Disney World?
This isn't a
Hey, they
lightsaber,
might have an
okay?
alien display. You never know.
Oh, God. We're not going to Universal, are we? Universal is not the same as MGM.
Here come the man
the
in
bad
black.
thing is you don't realize if you get her one of those, where they really get you is in the refills.
Jesus.
Oh, I'll be sending it to Chris. Chris will get that.
Jelly donut.
I'm gonna buy her a
No,
10-pack
I've had nightmares for years.
I'm gonna buy her 10 packs at a time, like the fucking Nerf darts for the Nerf guns.
I
Buy a
will be
Buzz
throwing
dozen
those at
jelly
your
donuts.
head. I will come and egg your house with that. Okay? I will use it as a launcher.
That's actually a
Egg your
great
house.
use for that. Oh my God! Instead of using the little alien eggs, get actual chicken eggs, stick them in there, and egg somebody's house with it.
The funny thing, I can't believe we keep going back to the aliens.
It's not me. I swear, it's
great,
not
right?
me.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I got to take off.
Nice. Thanks a lot,
Nice
Mike.
to meet you
I'll
guys.
be,
Thanks, Mike.
I'll be
Thanks, man.
happy to do it again, and hopefully I'll have my cameras up and about.
All right, cool.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Good night.
Well, we are going to transition from that into After Dark, After Hours, in just a couple seconds, so stay with us. Hey, what's up? This is Christopher Stolle of Realm of the Mist Entertainment. The podcast you are listening to is part of the SJ Network. Go to s-j-network.com. That's s-j-network.com for more great podcasts and information on those shows, as well as information and ability to contact publicist Steve Joyner for more information. Just go to the website and check out the family, ladies and gentlemen. Until then, enjoy the show. All right, welcome to After Hours, soon to be After Dark, because as Don said, as we were switching back in, After Dark's probably a better title for it, so we'll go with After Dark. In this one here, we usually do like the general things. We've been having a lot of deep conversations. I came up with something actually on Facebook that brought up not only the imagination of something we could discuss, but it could also go into other things that I've heard about people do. And what it is like when you die, like normally when you die, you either get buried in a casket or you get cremated or whatever, and then you get the little like urn or whatever. People have been getting a little weird with death lately. Like you can get, well, I'll tell you right now, one thing I found on Facebook is that you could leave your tattoos behind after you pass away. Once your funeral home removes your tattooed skin, the National Association of the Preservation of Skin Art will preserve them in a frame and send them to your loved ones.
There's a guy in Japan who...
What's that?
There's a guy in Japan who has been...
Okay.
There's a guy in Japan who has been collecting these skin tattoos of felons for about the past 40 years. He has, I think it's it's close to or over 100 skin pieces from felons. And he's been collecting these for like almost 50 years.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, is it...
Okay, so let's just...
Go ahead.
So this is after they're dead. Wait, if it's while they're alive, it's scarification. My nephew, I was just at his shop today. He's a tattoo artist. He's also a scarification artist. Like, he has his licensing in it. He has tons of pictures of tattoos on skin that he cut off all over his fucking walls. So, like, this is
Give
a
him the
thing.
cheap drug.
Jesus.
But this is like after death, they take it off?
Yeah, and this is not the first time I've heard
The
of
guy
something
in
being
Japan,
removed.
that's how he gets them.
Well, this is not new to me. It was weird to me, but it's not new to me because I've also heard of.
All right, so I'm going to get a tattoo.
Okay. You're going to get a tattoo and do what?
Yeah, I'm going to get a tattoo of a devil. I'm going to get a tattoo of a devil shoveling coal up my ass, and I'm going to have it ripped off and sent to Serenity when I die.
Thank you. I was just going to say, if it doesn't come to me, you're an asshole.
And this tattoo has an asshole in it.
There you go.
It'll be his asshole. Yeah.
You're damn right.
It could be like one of those. It could be one of those lockets. It could be one of those lockets where in the actual asshole, in the space of the asshole, you have a side, and have somebody's face in, a loved one's face in there.
Oh, Jesus.
But
like one of those little photo watches. Yeah. That's,
but I mean, it's not
Hey,
the weirdest
it's an
thing.
honor to have something like that, right?
Yeah, but it's not the weirdest thing I've heard about. I mean, have you heard of? And you
Well,
can look
sure.
these up again. I must be full of dick ideas today because there's another thing that they were doing that women were doing with their husbands when they die, and that the penis removed, and then taking the skin of the penis and putting it over top, like obviously taxiderm so the skin will stay safe or whatever. But have it where it's formed onto a vibrator or dildo. So they can continue to feel their
dry out?
husband. That's what I mean. They get it treated and all that, but these are things.
Not if used properly.
there's it will put its lotion on its skin, but
Yeah.
also there is a lot of
If it puts the lotion on the skin, it will not get the husband gun.
but there's also a lot of latex technology that will allow them to do that before their husband died also. So that's very weird.
Wait. I know for
They make
a
molds.
fact that there's like a mold. Yeah, there's like
Yeah,
a
they
mold
can do the
set.
mold.
Like,
Yeah.
you could just like make one
Send
while
it right
they're
there.
alive. Like, get them really, pumped up and just put the
If you-
cast on it and send it
Like-
off, man.
Yeah,
I
I
can,
had a girlfriend that was into that. She was all about like, oh yeah, you can actually get this casting set and send away for it, and they'll send it to your house, and you put your weenie in there and this liquid stuff, and it you got to keep it hard, hopefully, and so it like forms and makes the right shape, and then it dries. You send in the mold, and they send you a plastic or latex
you can
penis.
you can do the whole thing at home now with the stuff they have now. So I mean, like there's like full
Maybe
cast.
at your house.
You can do it all.
All all I got in my head is the scene from American Pie when the dad walks in and the dude's on the top of the counter with the apple pie. That's
He's
all I.
making an apple pie mode.
Boom, chicka, wow,
I'm just
wow.
wondering how many of you guys are thinking Christmas presents.
Hell yeah!
My question
That's better than
my
a dick
question
pic
is,
right
why
there.
the fuck would I want to disappoint her when I'm not even there?
You know, this is like real life dick pics. It's like if your significant other has-
Unsolicited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if someone hasn't asked you for the mold, then would you
Just mail it.
Yeah, well, send it COD.
From your secret admirer.
But seriously, like I know there's weird shit.
Guess who?
Lotion on the skinner to get the holes again.
Yes, that takes it to a whole new level.
It's like a Jack in the Box. You have it on a spring in the box when they open the box.
Bunch of them.
It's like on a
I'm
spring.
gonna make a whole bunch of them, just like use them in lieu of a business card.
I guarantee they remember you now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a memory.
See, I don't think I could do that like Christmas presents. I mean, I don't think I want to spread that much joy around.
Maybe April Fool. Send it as an
You're
April
like-
Fool's joke.
It's only deserving by like one or two of you. The other ones, you get my ass tattoo.
Well, like,
Yeah, there you go.
well, again, like you could send it like a Jack in the Box when you think about it. Like you fucking
Oh God.
you fucking put it in a box.
Oh my god, totally.
You put it in a box
Yes.
on it with a spring loaded. When they open it up, it's just boing, like smack them in the face and shit.
I'd be giving girls heart attacks, man.
Do 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 do.
Yep, you couldn't call it Dick in a Box, though. You couldn't call it Dick in a Box because Saturday Night Live had that years ago.
That's true.
Oh dang it.
But I mean,
Copyright.
as weird as sex toys are, like we've talked about it all episode, really. with the alien penis, or getting your own dick molded for somebody to have a jelly or a fucking vibrator. How morbid? Like, let's put it in practical effects here. Would any of us want, after our significant other died, like their body part to live on for sexual pleasure? Like, Serenity, would you want your husband's penis preserved for you? Or in turn, any of us, would you want your wife's vagina on a fucking fleshlight? And I'm not talking about like, a mold or a mockery. I'm talking about the legitimate thing.
No, I want to find a younger, more fresh one, One that doesn't expire in 30 days.
She's already talking about
you want to find a younger, more fresh one and then kill him and take his penis.
Yeah.
Right. Who wants the old mule and you can have the young stallion?
Yeah. Exactly. And the third leg always works.
Penis skins. Who has the most penis skins in the world? Serenity.
Yeah.
Probably Don.
Yeah.
They come in scented and
The
unscented.
whole collection. See, I get the idea with like money and belongings. You can't take it with you. This is my penis. It's coming.
That's right.
I agree.
Yeah.
That should be in the contract when you get like cremated. Like, you will leave my penis on me.
Can you imagine the conversation of this?
Here's the thing. I don't even expect. My wife moved out, so I really don't expect her to do shit with my remains. But if I remarry, I mean, till death do us part. She don't even have to show up to the funeral. I don't give a shit.
She could be fucking on your casket, right?
It's in the vow. We're done.
Can you
If
imagine?
it's in the
Until
vows, we're
death do us
done.
part. We're done. Yeah.
She's riding
Can
the
you
casket
imagine?
as they're lowering it down with some other guy. It's like, it's cool. We're done.
Imagine the conversation.
You ain't gonna be buried next to me. You ain't gonna be buried next to me. We did that shit for years.
Can you imagine the conversation in the lawyer's
Give me some
lawyer's
peace
office?
and quiet at this point.
This
Can
is
you imagine
horrible. I feel like I should be defending women, but you guys make it so hard. I can't. I just can't.
Well, we try to make it hard.
Well, no, I'm talking.
There's pills
about
for
women
that.
too. They don't have to be buried next to the same stinking ass dude when he's dead. I mean, who cares? They're done.
Shit. I just
I'm
want
just
to be
going by the
buried.
web
Just
path.
don't burn me, you guys. Just
Right.
don't let my body get burned.
You'd rather be worm
existed.
food?
Don't. Yes. Of course I would. Because I fucking existed, man. I don't want to be put into the flames.
Fuck that. Burn my ass. Burn
me.
No way. I am not a witch. I will not be burned.
Serve me like jerk chicken, okay? Fuck. Burn the shit out of me.
Oh, I'll remember this.
Yeah, make me into biltong, preserve me, and eat me later.
Fucking pack me in your fucking bowl like you're scraping resin and just have fun, okay?
Oh my god. Oh my god. My visuals.
Took it out, man.
Oh my god.
Dave's not here, man.
No, man, I'm Dave.
Yeah, I'm looking for my bong right now. I'm like, okay, now I have to take a hit. Okay.
You and me
That
both.
reminds me.
Talking about disgusting things, earlier we were, Chris, on your podcast, have you checked out that show, Ratchet?
Yes.
Nurse Ratchet?
Yeah.
Dude, she's like a devil. Like, she's a manipulator.
Wait a
like,
minute.
I,
Well, hold on. This
Oh
show
my
this
God.
show actually
Never
follows the nurse
Have
from
you never
one.
watched the original movie?
Yeah. So
No.
this is a
One Flew
reboot.
Over the Cuckoo's
Yeah, it's a reboot of a
Nest?
character.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a character origination or a reboot from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Nurse Ratchet
Jack
has
Nicholson.
been around for 50 years. Yeah.
oh my God, okay.
Great fucking movie. I just watched that last night, I think, or Friday night. I just watched that.
I just want to watch
Yeah,
the
I
damn
know
World
that.
Series.
The name's so familiar.
Isn't Jack Nicholson such a powerhouse in all of that? It's just crazy.
Oh,
Dude, Jack is the man.
I was
Awesome
watching
actor.
that again. I forgot that Danny DeVito was in that. I forgot that Christopher Lloyd was in.
It
Yeah.
has such a
It's like, holy
powerhouse.
crap, man.
It's such an ensemble, and it doesn't actually get the credit
Yeah.
for that, of course, because of the directional credits and everything that go into it. But whenever you're looking at that movie as a whole, the way that it was shot, the way Nurse Ratchet is being brought into, and obviously Serenity is just being exposed to that. but the way that it's actually, the way she comes and goes from the scenes and her interaction with each one of the guys, whether it's DeVito or Nicholson or Christopher Lloyd or any of the other guys, as they're going through all of that, you're actually able to see the pain and the mistreatment these guys are going through. But at the same time, you laugh and you're horrified. It's such a compelling movie. It done so well, and the acting is such top notch. Yeah. Serenity.
I did not make that correlation. No, I didn't even realize that it just was on Netflix. And I was like, this is cool, and I love Sarah, and I was like, I love everything she's in. She's such a great actress. So I just started watching it, and I'm on like episode 5 now. But I knew that name sounded familiar. I just couldn't place it, and I'm too stressed out these days. Too much shit going on. Getting a place set put up in my backyard for my daughter and all of her friends. I have like 5 kids over here I was watching. So
the cool thing about it is they do.
If you haven't seen the original movie, definitely check it out. And I learned something Friday watching it. The woman that played Nurse Ratched was also the principal on the High School High with John Lovitz, which just fucking cracked me up.
Because she basically plays the same person, and the adaptation in this series is kind of like what they did in Bates Motel for Norman. With Psycho. The fact that they're able to bring that about and you're able to see this character origination or the portrayal of it and actually take a deep look at why she is the way that she was in that movie. And she's such a compelling character because she has a lot of, I guess, charisma is the right word, or moxie, that she draws a lot of people to her so she can abuse them. And she's able to keep them trapped in that situation. She's such a diabolical character, and the fact that they were able to give it life in the series is really good, because I'm sure it's bringing a lot of people around to be able to see, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, if they look at the origination story of it. So it's a great way to be able to bridge the gap of almost 50 years. And that movie won 2 Oscars and was nominated for 7 in total, if I'm not mistaken.
Didn't it get Best
Picture? An incredible leap to be able to take from that kind of source material. It's really good.
Didn't it get Best Picture?
It got Best Picture and it got Best Supporting.
So
I'll have to rewatch it, but I watched it with my grandmother, so I saw it like 10 years ago. That's been too long.
Yeah, a great movie, and the series it's not going to be long-lived. Its shelf life probably is only 3 seasons, maybe 4 if they try to stretch it out, because you can't take it forever without going into the movie. But it's definitely worth watching. Definitely.
I'll have to give the series a
watch.
watch.
And the characters, and like Sharon Stone's in it, and just there's some amazing people.
It's got a powerhouse. It's got a powerhouse collection of talent in it, and the writing and directorial credits in it are actually surprisingly pretty high level. There's
Ryan Murphy
been involved in Better Call Saul, also Breaking Bad. Also, Walking Dead. One of the characters one of the writers has gone into that. And
where's the Rotten Tomatoes list?
I'm sure it's probably 103. I'm sure it's probably 103 or some shit.
What service is this on?
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
What service?
It should be like 18.
I'll take a look. Hang on, just a second.
What service does it stream on?
With such good actors and stuff, it should be in the top 10 or top 20 at least.
Oh, yeah, me and like 5 other people.
What is it on? Hulu, Netflix? What's it on?
It's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
And it's on Netflix, and it just came out September 18th.
I'll have to check that out.
So, lo and behold, it is on the Rotten Tomatoes list of best TV shows of 2020, and it is number 78.
Wow!
Oh God!
You're gonna be kidding me.
And if you look at it, it's appeared on the trending list. If on your whenever you look at recommended for you and everything, it's appeared on the top 10 trending list twice this year, as high as number 4. So the fact that we're going back to my segment of how fucked this list is from Rotten Tomatoes. They have it listed as number 78, and Tiger King is number 67. So they're saying 77 or 66 other shows were more watched or better in 2020 by Rotten Tomatoes. It's just a really fucked up list.
Well, yeah, come
But
on.
yeah,
I mean,
Ratchet is awesome.
with the things that came out on Netflix alone in 2020. I mean, like you said, Tiger King. There's a new season of fucking Last Kingdom. You know, I believe there's a new season of 100 that came out, and these things are actually lower than that.
Doctor Who actually made the move from BBC to Netflix this year, and it's not even listed on the top 100.
Well, there's no harm there.
Doctor Who has been around forever.
Yeah, it's one of the. It's almost as watched as Star Trek. You know, I mean, it's just an incredibly huge following, and it's not even on the top 100 of this list.
No way.
Right, but that's kind of like a cult classic that people follow. If they've been following it since the 80s or whatever, they're still following it. I mean,
but
so it's got its own thing there.
Yeah.
With this nerd culture,
people who know about it, they're going to watch it, but it's just really weird. They wouldn't give it any credence on a must-watch list.
well, that's it. There's enough nerds out there that summarily follow this. Just like there's still people who watch Star Trek. Why do you think all the seasons of all the original Star Trek series aren't off Netflix yet? Because Netflix would lose a shit ton of money from all the Trek nerds that don't want to pay for CBS All Access.
As a matter of fact, it was only the matter of hundreds of millions versus billions of dollars that they don't have any of the Star Wars series on there because of what Disney did versus Star Trek. Because whenever they were able to run Clone Wars and any of the new Star Wars movies, they did not have Star Trek on for a period of time. So it's just a matter of money, and they just got outbid. Obviously, Disney owns them. But from a streaming concept, they had the ability to actually still carry it if Disney didn't drive the price up so high.
No, absolutely. Disney was being greedy but smart about it. They wanted to make sure that everything was on their streaming service, which between, Disney Plus and CBS All Access, I'd rather pay for Disney Plus. Because if I'm going to pay, $5-6 a month for CBS All Access and the only thing I'm getting out of it is Star Trek shows, as opposed to Disney Plus, where I get all Star Wars, all the past Star Wars shit, plus Marvel, plus Disney movies and cartoons and Pixar. Yeah, let me think for a minute on which one I want to pay for first. You know what I mean?
Disney definitely has a lockdown on that independent streaming link, versus it's a network streaming, so they're definitely way ahead of Fox. They're way ahead of CBS. They may or may not be ahead of NBC because of all the classic shows. That's the reason Friends is no longer on Netflix, because NBC launched the Peacock network. So, there's almost maybe a kind of a tie between NBC and Disney at the moment because of classic TV content, but
they got lost.
As far as new releases, it's definitely going to be Disney.
Nah, man. Peacock lost to Disney Plus when Disney bought Fox. When the Simpsons showed up, when the Simpsons showed up on Disney Plus, that was the end of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to take the running lead because they have more money and they have the access to be able to buy titles. But NBC has so much original content that Disney could never have. That's the only reason I would say maybe it's close to a tie as far as viewership. But people are going to be willing to buy Disney before they do NBC, just because of the wide range of things.
Now, Serenity, you were saying you were a stockholder of what?
I have to say, as a parent. Well, no, I'm a stockholder in Disney. So,
Okay.
I saw in the beginning of coronavirus, it dropped to $85, $88 a share. I mean,
now
this was right before Disney Plus came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 130 something and dropped all the way down there. And I remember sitting there just biting my teeth, just going, "Oh my God, is it ever going to go back up?" And they're like, "Oh no, just wait, Disney." They sent the shareholders information saying, "Oh no, look, Disney Plus is coming out, and look, this is what we're doing. So don't even worry about it." And I have Disney Plus, and as a parent, I love it.
As soon as the new Mandalorian season drops, it's probably going to jump about 20 points just because so many people are going to watch Mandalorian. It's insane how people are for it,
Oh, Mandalorian
I got
single-handedly.
a 14-year-old nephew. And I tell you what, my 14-year-old nephew is all about Mandalorian. And when they had the last episode, he was so crushed because he wanted to know more. And I said, all right, we're going to cancel Disney Plus until they come back on it. When they get back on the Mandalorian, then I'll renew the subscription. So what did they say? October 30th supposed to be the new release date?
Yep. So it's really funny that you bring it up that way, because that was really the whole premise of creating the show that I do with What's Your F and Binge, cheap plug. But, because binge watching is actually entered the lexicon as a psychological affliction. Whenever people's show ends, all of us are familiar with the term show hole, right?
Right.
That is actually a form of depression that is now referred to by the psychiatrist association or society that's actually written that is actually written in the American Medical Journal, has been written on by Harvard psychiatrist. So that show hole term is it's like a real deal, and people really do get depressed whenever their show ends, waiting because they're they want to know more about it, or they just miss all the characters so much. It's what happened with Avatar. Whenever it first came out, there were people who were almost suicidal because the world
because they
didn't
spent that
reflect
much money about it.
on Avatar. And it's just really weird how this is actually binging and these kinds of shows has really entered into the zeitgeist. Is a funny word.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know the show called Taboo? It's more of a European thing.
Yep.
Okay, so is season 3 of that ever going to come out? And that show Harlots, is it totally canceled?
Harlots is totally canceled, and Taboo is on hold. They're doing they're frozen because of video or filming restraints because of COVID.
Look,
it's going to come out. There's going to be another season, but Harlots is done.
I will tell you right now how Disney Plus puts a nail in every streaming service, puts a nail in the coffin of every streaming service. It will end all of them. We will all have Disney Plus, and that's it. Disney bought Fox, yes?
Yep, and they're looking at Paramount also.
Right, and they're looking at Paramount, which will close CBS All Access because Paramount's Star Trek. But Disney bought...
They're trying to build a monopoly.
Disney bought Fox. Fox franchises that were most popular, besides the original Star Wars trilogy, obviously, was for 20th Century Fox was the Alien franchise, which means that the Simpsons and all that. If they want to put the nail in the coffin of every single one of them, they could do it on the streaming service with one more season of just one show. Firefly.
Firefly is so big across different segments. It's a really weird show because of the people that it attracts. It definitely it really hits home with a lot of teenagers, and then going into millennials.
That is an amazing show.
And then whenever you're dealing with people who are old comic book heads and whatnot, you're dealing with the late 30s and 40s and 50s. It stretches across a lot of different. What is it?
The writing of the show is amazing.
It's an incredible show, and it stretches across so many people that it does draw a lot of people. If they were to get that, that would be a really big generational thing where they could bring in a lot of people.
Well, they have it. Firefly was Fox. So they have Serenity and they have Firefly. If they turn around and drop the second season, which is what the fans have been screaming for since the first season ended, if they drop the second season, if they got Joss Whedon to do the second season of Firefly on Disney Plus, I guarantee you everybody would cancel every other streaming service they have just to go to Disney Plus. They would
at least for 3 months.
It would be done. It would be done.
Yeah. And if it was 3 months of total exclusivity to Disney Plus, then they would put some people out of business.
Yes, they would.
Sure.
Which let's face it, with the money that we're putting into, and these streaming services are ridiculous in pricing. I mean, Disney Plus is like $6. It's not terrible, but I mean, like Netflix has gone up to something like almost $8 a month. You have other ones that are like $11 a month. When you add it all together, is it worth even having cable anymore?
I haven't had cable for years. because of this. And you may want to edit this out afterwards, but I'm a huge prescriber of Amazon Fire Sticks being jailbroken because it is not illegal content. You're able to actually have it as long as you don't own it in a downloaded form. And I pay for Wi-Fi, and that's it. I have a jailbroken Fire Stick, and I'm able to watch anything and everything in a lot of cases before anybody else does.
We'll talk off air. I will not advocate for anybody to find free streaming services on the internet too. They are available. Sometimes they don't let you go back to the back catalogs because of just time up there, or they want you to sign on to the VIP. But you can find free ways of seeing some of these shows. I mean, that's how I kept up on some of them. That I just didn't want to pay for the
I saw
stream service.
Mulan, and I didn't pay the money for that $30 rental or whatever. I saw Mulan. You don't have to always pay for TV.
Hey, I saw Bill and Ted Face the Music for free. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say on it. Which I'm surprised nobody has mentioned anything on Bill and Ted since it's come out.
We're supposed to do a show on it, so I haven't talked about it.
Oh, I guess I'll have to be on that show.
Yeah.
Since I've been waiting to talk about it.
I like giving new releases like that are really anticipated enough leeway that I'm not giving out spoilers because I want to talk about it in depth.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, back to the topic at hand that I started off with, the morbidity. Like when did we as a society decide that we should desecrate the bodies of our loved ones? And especially in the forms of using them for sexual exploitation. I mean, wasn't it bad? Wasn't it enough to give a wake or a funeral or a viewing, put them in the ground or light them and get on with your life? Now we're bronzing.
Well, that's human nature, though.
Now we're
Humans always
vibrating
pushing the limits of whatever they have.
Yeah, but I mean, now we're vibrating penises and fucking bronzing balls. My late husband, I get to dust him every weekend. Yeah,
Can you imagine being the lawyer? Can you imagine being the lawyer and what the setting is to have this fucked up conversation with this woman? Pre-death. That she's talking, maybe it's someone in her late 40s or 50s. They're doing, they're drawing up life contracts or whatnot. And she's like, you know what? I think I love Bill so much. I think I want to have Bill's penis skin. Like, imagine being the lawyer having this conversation.
You gotta figure the guy that allows his wife to take his penis after he's dead is the same one that gave her his balls when he was still alive.
Well, I think that the lawyer's name is Lorena Bobbitt.
She
already knows how to fight these cases. She's won them many times before, but that's just wrong.
Only because the evidence couldn't stand up in court.
Yeah, well, I guess you have to have the foresight to save the foreskin.
There you go.
Represented by the law firm Bobbitt Cut and Stitch. Yeah.
But what does the will look like? Like, I will your father's penis to...
Well, do you
to grandma?
Yeah, because eventually she's gonna die. Does that get passed on?
Yeah. So who do you
to the grandchildren, or does she get buried?
Oh God!
Don't hand down the family penis.
Who do you bequeath
this still has been in my family for centuries.
Yeah.
Hey,
there has to be a self-destruct button on it, right?
Wait a minute.
This is my great-great-grandpa Bill's penis skin, and it's been in the family now for 120 years, and it's really important that we put it in the safety deposit box.
Wait,
place it on the mantle.
Wait, where's baby Sally?
Yeah,
she's taking
it. They'll be antique. They'll be worth a fortune. Then.
But I need somebody to pull it out every month and put lotion on its skin.
Wait, where's baby?
Wait,
where's baby Sally? She's in the bedroom taking a nap with Grandpa. Grandpa's been dead for 20 years. Grandma looks, oh shit. That's not a teddy bear. Let go of that.
That's horrible.
No, just no.
See, that just sounds to me like you're asking for a haunted vibrator.
What was that scene with Steve Martin? Steve Martin, that scene in Parenthood where somebody come running out of the bedroom with a vibrator they thought was candles or something.
Oh, George, you never felt this good. Yeah, that's true about the haunting. Don's right. Like, I'll ask Serenity this just because she's got the most experience out of all of us right now. Would you want that in your house? I mean, you've already dealt with it. You've already dealt with it with like a book and a doll. Would you want a fucking haunted penis?
I already think I'm crazy enough, but if I okay, I swear I'm not crazy. It just sounds like I'm crazy. But if I had a haunted penis, I'd be selling my house and burying it on the fucking property. Like, what the fuck? That shit ain't right. Like, no. I don't want to go into my situation.
That's what will happen. Yeah. Breaking the fourth wall outlives all of us, right? So we got a next generation group, and what we do is when we die, we all fucking will our penises in statue form to be put on the back mantle behind the host of the new Breaking the Fourth Wall show. Including Serenity's. Hers came from the drawer. Hers came from the drawer, though.
It's like a trophy case.
Oh, God. I'll bend over. Let them see where the sun don't shine. Fucking tattoo this on their face, man.
Oh, you saying Serenity's statue tribute would be the fucking cat bowl?
Oh, boy.
What? What? Nobody's gonna be licking my milk anytime soon, okay?
Oh, good Lord. Could this show get any more off the rails? I'll tell you what, we'll figure out how this show will go off the rails in a couple seconds here when we come back for Colin's turn in a couple seconds.
I'm Michael, the host of the semi-monthly podcast In a City Like Yours. Join me as I chat with interesting people with interesting life stories. You can listen to the podcast on all major podcast platforms, including Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. You can follow us on Twitter at IACLYS Podcast, as well as on Facebook and Instagram at In a City Like Yours Podcast. Please feel free to let me know what you think, and keep coming back for the many interesting stories in a city like yours.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
All you, Colin.
Hey, guys. Back again for the little positive reinforcement this week. I was looking around on the internet a little bit, and I found a few things. Couple things here from Reader's Digest website. Apparently, the world is reducing the waste of surplus food. It says here, every day huge amounts of food are thrown away as supermarkets offload produce that has passed its best before date. Restaurants, cafes, bakeries dispose of uneaten meals and foods for similar reasons. Now an app called Too Good To Go is reducing this waste. Devised in Copenhagen, the app offers users in 14 European countries access to unsold, safe-to-eat produce from participating suppliers. Food is heavily discounted at about a third of the regular price. Launched in 2016, Too Good To Go has been downloaded by 22 million people in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Germany, France, and the Netherlands, Belgium, Spain, Austria, Italy, Poland, Portugal, and the UK. Users can see which outlets in their neighborhood have surplus food available that day, which they can then pick up at closing time. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. The app helps households on restricted budgets, providing an estimated 100,000 meals a day, and also plays a part in mitigating climate change. Food waste contributes to 8% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Huh. Yeah.
Did you say how 100,000 people served a day?
Yeah, it says providing an estimated 100,000 meals a day.
Jesus, that's
impressive.
That's a staggering number, really.
Right. Now, if they could, and this is in Europe, right? So we could do more of this type of stuff in the U.S. That would be great. But the U.S. is so driven by profit, 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 that it's hard to get past that. And like McDonald's throws away, I don't even know how much food every day, and other restaurants and other grocery stores and stuff in the U.S. I mean, but I have seen other links on Facebook and stuff where people actually are putting together different programs to reuse some of that surplus food. But this one in Europe, it seems like they really got it on the ball, and that's good to see.
That's an incredible number, considering there's a not a national chain of grocery stores, but a really big chain of grocery stores that runs in the Midwest. It runs from southern Indiana to St. Louis, and it's called Schnucks. And the report that came out on them earlier this year is they throw away an estimated 13 million tons a year of produce and meats.
Wow.
Just one chain. And I mean, they have, lots and lots of locations, okay? So we're not going to say, it's like 10 locations and they all throw out a ton a year, or, 100 tons or whatever the number is. But, 1 million tons of leftover produce and meat in just one grocery chain. Imagine what's the real big one that everybody knows, like Whole Foods.
Kroger,
or,
I was going to say.
Kroger,
Right, Kroger.
Or Walmart. Yep. Imagine what Walmart throws away every year.
Well, I made that argument.
Yeah,
I made that argument for years.
They get tax deductible, like they get a tax deductible for everything.
So it comes off of their inventory and everything. So yeah, it is what it is. But imagine repurposing that waste into something that we could use in, the homeless community.
Then they wouldn't get
trying to do something.
They wouldn't get the full amount of money. They wouldn't get the full amount of money back from the taxes.
And that tells you all you need to know about companies like that. If that's
that's absolutely true, because I've argued that for years with like Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, their shelf life of their donuts is about 4 hours before they start getting hard and stale. Same with the bagels.
They're shipped in. Dunkin' Donuts are not fresh. They are shipped in.
Well, I know that, but fresh. I mean, shelf life is about 4 hours before that you can't sell them. And instead of handing them out to people that are hungry or donating them to a shelter or something like that, they throw them. They are purposely people will get fired if they take donuts home that were from their stale bin.
Right? Isn't that pathetic?
That it's absolutely such a waste, and it's so disgraceful.
Because they don't want them working there if they think those are good donuts. They do.
Right.
They should be fired. Just get the fuck out. You don't even know what a donut is at this point.
God forbid you like the donuts you're selling. Yeah.
Right. It's like, well, if we're not making money off
it. For anybody in the Dayton area, I know there are a lot of businesses struggling right now. I've been hearing that Bill's Donuts is struggling, and that is one of the best local donut shops in this entire area. So support local, man. To hell with Dunkin' Donuts. Fuck Tim Hortons. Support your local donut shops.
Yep.
And there's so many people who are so blind to go into these national chains because it's just a name.
Right.
That they don't even realize this behind-the-scenes thing. They don't even think about it. Like, if you really knew how morally corrupt they were, like, would you ever go into a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks line knowing how much product they throw away instead of turning it over to people that are in need? If you're in that position, you're $1 billion company, $2 billion company, multi-billion dollar company, and you can't afford to give away a few sausage biscuits that you can't sell.
Well, I can't.
Right.
I can't.
Because if they can't make money off of it, they don't want anybody to have it.
Well, see, I can't speak on Dunkin' Donuts or whatever.
You need to know about them.
I can't speak on Dunkin' Donuts and all that, but I mean, knowing how evil corporation Walmart is, and yet I still shop at it because the motherfucker's broke and they're cheaper than the other places. I'm kind of stuck on the moral high horse versus my financial situation. I hate to say it that way, but if I could boycott them, I would.
That's the bitch of it. They kind of got you,
Yeah.
Well, our society's kind of been engineered this way, so that way everybody that's got businesses, all these corporations and stuff, they want to make all the profit, and they don't want anybody else getting into that or getting in the way. So if they can throw away product that they can get a tax write-off because of so much waste, they're going to go that route rather than giving it to other organizations that could have possibly helped people with the stuff.
And here's
Even
my
Home
thing:
Depot.
if you're the store manager at the local super Walmart, and you're supposed to document these things that you throw away so they can get the tax write-off, what would it really hurt at the end of the day that you gave it away to these organizations that need food to feed them, and then go ahead and write off the tonnage that you actually are giving?
Yep, we lost somebody.
Write it off as waste.
Right.
If we lost Serenity, but if you were to, there she is, she's back.
Yep, we lost you.
But if you were to do that, what do you think would happen to that? What do you think would happen to that Walmart general manager or GM or executive who authorized, go ahead and just give it away and then we'll write it off? He's fired.
No, he's
Oh, yeah,
fired.
absolutely.
You're fired. And then
That's
the
right,
really
for sure.
fucked up thing, if you take a really deep look at it, then the government will fuck them for quote unquote lying about how they got rid of their waste.
Yeah.
So who's really the most corrupt?
Yeah.
It's really fucked up.
So good on this app
Right,
for
yeah,
doing
and
what it's
the
doing.
big corporate monsters. Those are the ones that are the most guilty, that are throwing away the most.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's cool.
Yeah, this app is really good. So anyhow, yeah, I was pretty impressed by that. And then being in the food industry myself with my family's business here, also I gotta say that if we get to the last day, because the health department says we can only keep things around refrigerated for up to 6 days, or from the day it was made, by health codes. So when it gets to that 6th day, if we don't sell it, I'll hand it to my other guy in the kitchen. I'll be like, here, take this home and feed your family. If I got a bucket of
at
chili.
the club. I mean, we don't have a lot.
I mean,
of food at the club,
I live in a
but
small
still,
community.
Yeah.
Right. You try to pay it forward, And the corporate lifestyle, the corporate they've lost that thought. They don't care about that. They care about
They're so
profit,
far
and that's
removed
where-
that they don't have to see people struggle or suffer, that they don't even, that's a complete afterthought. That's the fucked up thing about it. It didn't even enter their mind. Actually, they look for ways to fire people for violating that code. That's the, really fucked up thing with these big companies.
Right.
Well, that's it, because even
So
employees,
anyway,
it's not just
they're doing it.
It's not just the consumers. It's also the employees are nothing more than a margin number to them on their spreadsheets.
Yeah.
That's all humanity is to them. Is what would doing any of this shit mean to our bottom line at the end of the day?
Right, and should everything in our world be considered disposable? I mean, right down to the employees that work alongside you.
Well, think about it back in the day. Let's put it in an economic standpoint. Think about back in the day, Sears and Roebuck's. A guy could have a job selling vacuum cleaners at Sears, and it would be a career that he could take care of his family, 2 kids, wife, own a house, own a car, be able to pay all his bills, get Christmas presents under the Christmas tree, a turkey on the Thanksgiving table, blah, 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 selling vacuum cleaners. And he was on commission because Sears and Roebuck's would take care of him. Nowadays, get somebody from Walmart to be able to afford anything. Not that they just, I'm not advocating for the $15 an hour, because I'm sorry, they don't deserve it. When you have 20,000 registers and only 2 of them are open and the rest of the fucking employees are standing around bullshitting, yeah, you don't deserve $15 an hour. You know what I mean? If I ask you for help and you go, oh, you don't deserve $15 an hour. Yeah, I'm
right,
sorry.
but I see what you're saying, though. The whole social dynamic and the economic state of our work ethic and the way that we monetize everything has totally changed from even when you and I were children.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. There was a time when with being a retail employee was a for lack of a better term, it was a respectable career instead of a stepping stone job, and that's both because of work ethic of the typical employee, and especially the greed of the corporate master. And that's the God's honest truth.
Right. So that's one of the reasons when you look at this kind of stuff, that's what makes me happy to see that there are some people putting together organizations that are taking care of some of this waste and some of the stuff that's going kind of screwy in our world. So anyway, on to the next thing here. Let's see here. Albatross. I'm sure you guys all know what an albatross is.
Yeah,
they're kind of a seagull, pretty much.
Yeah, they're a nasty little enemy on Super Mario Bros.
Ocean-ranging
2.
albatrosses. Yeah. Yeah, so ocean-ranging albatrosses keep track of illegal fishing. So albatrosses have been used to detect illegal fishing in the Indian Ocean in a pioneering study by researchers at France's National Center for Scientific Research. Illegal fishing is estimated to cost 19.5 billion euros a year globally, but satellite monitoring of boats can be slow, costly, and inaccurate. The team strapped 169 wandering albatrosses with sensors that detect a boat's radar. The sensors can then confirm whether the boat's transponder, which enables authorities to track the vessel, is switched on. Transponders are often switched off during illegal fishing. This organization team leader Henry Weinskirch says albatrosses make ideal trackers. They are large birds, they travel over huge distances, and they are very attracted to fishing vessels. Over a 6-month period, roughly a third of vessels detected in the southern Indian Ocean were not broadcasting their whereabouts, and the research found this to be true. Worm Hershkich, or whatever the heck his name is, says the cheap form of surveillance could complement satellite monitoring. We have shown it's possible.
I don't know. I'm kind of tossed up on this one. And I'll tell you why I'm kind of...
Well, you know, a fisher...
Good.
Go ahead.
No, the reason I'm tossed up on this... The reason I'm tossed up on this, quite honestly, is because of the fact that, you know, one, I don't get the illegal fishing, except for in cases of, like, if it's, like, spawning season or if a certain type of fish is on an danger list. Beyond that, somebody going out fishing, earning those fish to be able to sell or to be able to feed their families like a normal fisherman, for example, I don't get that. I never got that to begin with. But the thing I'm tossed up about the process, it's cool that they can.
You don't want to overfish.
Right, you don't want to overfish. But I mean, the albatrosses. The reason I'm tossed up about it is like, okay, it's cool that the albatrosses are able to define these transponders and the non-transponders, so they find the illegal boats that are out there or they're not following the rules, like turning off the transponder. But the reason it's kind of like an iffy subject to me is using animals for those types of things. The first thing that popped in my mind while reading that was thinking about back in the day when the U.S. Navy wanted to use dolphins to help find submarines. You know, and it's just it almost seems like animal cruelty.
There.
Yeah, it almost feels like an animal cruelty to use them in that manner.
Well,
is that animal cruelty?
At least,
yeah.
If you want to be that, like, there's two different ways to look at that, because the Navy used the dolphins. That study was done in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
So it was a totally different apparatus. Yes, was it cruel to the dolphins? Of course it was. You put headgear and fucking pierce their fucking noses with that headgear they put on. So obviously that's horrible. But the reason they're using the albatrosses, this is kind of like a backsplash effect of what happened whenever they did the blackfish study, because of what happened with illegally hunting and killing dolphins, along with fishing massive amounts of tuna and whatnot from the oceans whenever it was out of season or it was illegal in different areas. So if they have something, look at a GoPro, and if they're able to tag certain birds to keep them from extinction because they're able to watch where they go, where they migrate, whatever, and it's considered to be humanitarian. Certainly if they can tag something, they can also fit it or attach, on the leg, maybe in a way that's not intrusive, I guess. Maybe it is a little bit out of the ordinary, but if it does protect millions of tons of illegal fishing, then it's kind of like, what is considered to be good. What's the term they use in war whenever innocent people die?
Friendly fire.
Yeah, whenever you're looking at something like that, like maybe possibly taking collateral damage. Maybe it's acceptable collateral damage to save hundreds of millions of tons of wildlife in the ocean, which is really what makes the world go round. We're 63% water, and so is the world. Maybe if 169 birds being taken a little bit out of their ordinary element is worth saving that, then you have to make some concessions, right, to be able to save some of these species and wildlife.
And you know that the fishermen aren't going to kill an albatross, either that or they've never read any Coleridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, on top of that, you look at the amount of these birds that are out there. I mean, they're like rats with wings. They're another type of
They're
like a
almost as
seagull,
bad as
right?
pigeons. Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of them to go around, so it's not like we're going to really decimate the population. If a couple of them are casualties, and I don't think they're trying to do that. I mean, it's what is it? The Center for Scientific Research, from France's National Center for Scientific Research. So I think they're probably going to do the best they can, to do it all humanely and stuff like that. And for me, I look at it like, okay, if they're overfishing, then what's going on with all these fish? They just caught a bunch of fish and then just going to let them sit and rot because they can't sell them because they overfished.
Yeah,
And
No, they'll sell them.
How many of you are familiar with the whole blackfish deal?
I don't know anything about it.
So in Indonesia, all the way up to Japan and through coastal China and through Thailand and Hong Kong and all that stuff, all the way through the whole Indonesian territorials, they've done incredible, massive damage to the ecosystem through the southern Pacific, where they have overfished and killed endangered species and including dolphins, blue tip and bottlenose dolphins.
Right. That's why we need this technology.
That and they've completely massacred these populations where it's even affected killer whale population of migration. It's affected sharks, whether you care for or don't care for great whites, which I absolutely fucking hate the idea of, but they've affected their migration patterns. They've affected tuna. They've affected mackerel. All of this overfishing and killing of these species and everything has kind of trickled down where it affects
the food chain and the environment.
The whole ecosystem.
Exactly. Those are the dangers. That's why they're doing these types of things, and it's important. I don't think there's enough maybe awareness about this kind of stuff.
And the whole blackfish conspiracy. There's a movie you can look up on Netflix called Blackfish and Hunter's Cove. There's two different movies you can look up about it, but just the mass overkill that it's like a genocide they've done on species in the ocean, which at the end of the day, even if you live in Indiana, it still affects you.
Just in the price of fish
isn't a big deal. And and Colin's saying, tuna going from $2.99 a pound to $7 a pound ain't because of COVID. Maybe it is right now because of shipping, but it's because it's becoming a rarer species. And tuna used to be as prolific as chickens, and now the price has tripled in the past 10 years because of this overkilling of the areas that they swim in.
Yeah, it all comes down to supply and demand, and that's why we have to keep track of these things. Otherwise, it affects everything. It changes the entire demographic, and before you know it, we're paying huge prices, just like we have been. It fluctuates between $3 to $5 a pound for ground beef usually, right? Well, we were up to like $7.99 a pound up here dealing with it during this COVID stuff because all the places were closed down because we don't have the employees, everybody's sick, so the price went up because they only had so much to offer. And it just, that's kind of that stuff that we got to look at, when we're talking about our environment and the animals that we use for our food.
No, you're not wrong, and I think to touch on something that Chris was saying about like the awareness of the I think they make a good job of it, like with things like Shark Week, where humanity has finally started to realize the importance of in the ecosystem of the oceans. But I don't think there's enough information out there really to all the benefits of marine life to all life on the planet, and that a strong oceanographic biosystem is the life force of all life on the planet, and how much it does affect dry land ecosystems, and all. Like I said, like after Jaws 1975, people were hunting great white sharks to the point of extinction. Now we're starting to trophies, and now they're starting to proliferate. Oh my God, I can't use words today. They're proliferate. they're finally starting to proliferate back into normal numbers because people finally realized how important a great white shark was to the ecosystem of the oceans, which in turn is important to the ecosystem of the world. I just don't think they've paid enough attention to all the other type of species, including a salmon or a tuna or even the coral reefs or things of that nature, where you know, everything in there has an importance to the ecosystem.
Right, right. Like you think like a fly is the most annoying critter on the planet because it lands on you and pisses you off, right? But what you don't think about is flies. They take
Feed
care
the
of
birds.
carcasses. Yeah, they feed the birds. They feed bats. And they take care of all the carcasses that get hit by cars on the side of the road. Rotting, decaying material. They eat all that stuff. So they do have a purpose, even though they're annoying to us.
Yeah.
And everything in the world is that way, and it's got to trickle down, no matter what it is. You know, any type of animal. You know, so that's where my mind's at with all that kind of stuff.
It's like a side effect of being the top of the food chain. Everything that's beneath you or annoys you or doesn't actually serve a direct purpose to you, it's worth killing. That's kind of the way it is throughout the animal killing kingdom, you know, and us being at the top of it because we're able to manipulate our surroundings and whatnot.
Right, but we have to be
we kill
responsible
off
about
everything,
it.
but we don't think about the responsibility of it.
Right.
I don't like
That's
the
key,
idea.
is responsible.
Being a shark fan, I don't like the idea of humans calling ourselves the top of the food chain because I'm sorry, take the greatest apex predators of the land and put them in the ocean, and who do you think's going to win in a fight? The smallest shark or the biggest lion?
Take the shark out of the water. You know, if you take the shark out of the water, he ain't whooping nobody's ass.
Well, that's it. That's it. We may be the top. We may be the top of our environment, but we are not the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
Well, if we put legs on a shark, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Put a shark in a tornado, we get
Well,
5
anyway.
shitty movies.
Anyways, any more information you'd like to look up on that? Look up the France's National Center for Scientific Research, and they'll have more info for you. The next thing on my list was bees. What was it here? About Notre Dame. I'm sure everybody remembers we had that big fire at Notre Dame not too long ago.
Right.
It says here, when fire ravaged Paris's Notre Dame Cathedral last year, many presumed that the 3 colonies of bees living in the sacristy roof had perished. But against all odds, these bees survived the inferno and continued to thrive through the coronavirus lockdown. There's nothing wrong with them at all, reports beekeeper Sybil Moulin, who looks after 30 to 45,000 insects in the 3 hives. The behavior of the colonies is perfectly normal. The beehives are just 30 meters below Notre Dame's main roof trusses, but were untouched by the flames. The mystery remains, says Mullen, all that smoke, heat, water, and everything. She kept visiting the bees through the coronavirus crisis as humans stressed over COVID. Mullen reports that the bees were completely unbothered.
The real crazy thing about bees is if you were to take some bees from, where Stolle lives or where Don lives or Serenity and move them to Europe or Asia, they would be able to pick up exactly where they left off, build a new hive, appropriate a new queen. Like bees are incredibly
resilient,
resilient and resourceful. It's
yeah, they could adapt.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
Very.
Totally cool that they're that tough. So yeah, there's that, and then there was another thing. Oh yeah, plastic bottles. You guys like this one. Mutant enzyme heralds breakthrough in recycling. Scientists have created an enzyme that can break down used plastic bottles for recycling in a matter of hours. Engineered from bacteria found in leaf compost, the enzyme reduces the peat bottles made from polyethylene terephthalate, if that's right, a form of polyester, to their chemical building blocks, which are then used to make high-quality new bottles. Existing recycling technologies using produce plastics suitable only for clothing and carpets. Carbios, the French startup behind the breakthrough, aims to be recycling at an industrial scale within 5 years. This represents a significant step forward towards true circular recycling. And says Professor John McGeehan, director of the UK-based Center for Enzyme Innovations.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm happy to hear that that they could do that. Now if they just put it in a liquid form, put it in a biplane and fly it over every landfill, in the country, and we watch those mountains of trash just start to disintegrate because now they're finally decomposing all the plastics that have been sitting in there since 1942.
Right, now they have the enzymes that can battle them and help them break down so that our landfills aren't taking forever to decompose.
Or we could just use hemp and say fuck it, and all of our landfills would only be full like every 5 years.
The problem is with using hemp is all the idiots will start smoking it instead of using it for the decomposition.
Well, they are idiots, and they deserve to die however it is you die from smoking hemp. So
now, if we can get them to smoke plastic bottles, we'll be all set.
There we go. Yeah, we're gonna. That's population control at its finest.
Yeah.
All right, I want you to put this all around. I want you to put this all around the landfill area, so that way it starts decomposing. Man, fuck that! I can't get good shit like this on the street.
I can smoke this. This is better than bath salts, bro.
Yeah, it's better to die by just smoke a plastic bottle.
Oh man, like the new banana or something, banana peel.
People are pulling shit out of the landfill to make bowls to smoke to hemp.
And for any of our viewers who would like to leave a comment about bath salts or any of the previously discussed subjects, please drop us a line.
And if we're offending you in any way, sorry, we'll talk slower.
Yeah, next time we'll spell it out.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. I guess that's all I got for now.
All right on, man. Well, we're cutting this one. We're cutting this one here. We're gonna do our goodbyes and all that because unfortunately, a couple of us have to go run over to yet another podcast, and we're already running over time. So, so for everybody here, guys, we'll go around the room like normal. Tell everybody where they can find your show, where they can find you, where they can contact you, and all that happy good news. Especially if they want to pick on Chris Rudder for the bath salt comments.
That's right.
We'll let Chris go first.
This is Christopher Rudder. You can find me at What's Your Effin' Binge. Just look up What's Your Effin' Binge on any social media platform, whether it's Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. We have a public page. We also have a private page. And you can look us up on Spotify, Apple, anywhere else you find good podcast at What's Your Effin' Binge. Thanks, guys. See you later.
See you later. Don Smith.
See you, Chris. Hey, this is Don Smith. You can find me at thelife1069.com. It's an old website I haven't updated yet, but I'm going to. I friggin' promise. All the links are still good. You can find the Life Radio Show at pretty much any podcast app right now. You can also follow me on Facebook at thelife1069 or at Don Smith Comedy on Twitter.
Serenity.
As long as you swear you'll be creepy and annoying, my email is vinylprophet, that is PROPHET, @gmail.com.
When she says creepy and annoying, she means she wants dick pics with alien head filters over the top of the dick.
Only to share with all of you.
We will show it on air next week. And Colin Washburn. Colin Washburn.
Hey guys, I'm here on Facebook. You can find me there. You can email me at colinwashburn@gmail.com, or I'm on YouTube. Drop me a line if you got something positive to talk about. Thanks. I'm out.
And, of course, guys, you can find this episode here and all episodes from Realm of the Mist Entertainment at Realm of the Mist Entertainment on YouTube. Just hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Check out all the podcasts of Realm of the Mist Entertainment. And if you prefer your podcast in an audio-only format, you can find us on Anchor.fm, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or wherever quality podcasts can be heard. We can be found on all the social medias. And, of course, you can contact us directly at realmofthemistentertainment@gmail.com. And, again, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank our guest, Mr. Blind Mike, for coming on, and make sure you check out his great programming on blindcaferadio.net. That is blindcaferadio.net. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you had a blast. I had a blast with this one, and we will catch you next week on the next Breaking the Fourth Wall Weekly. Have a good night. Hey guys, it's Chris from Realm of the Mist Entertainment. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out all the other great podcasts that can be found on Realm of the Mist Entertainment's YouTube channel or our sister channel, Sounds Dicey Gaming, for all your tabletop needs. And if you prefer your podcast in audio-only format, check out Realm of the Mist Entertainment on Anchor.fm, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, or wherever quality podcasts can be heard. To our Patreon supporters, we thank you very, very much. And if you're interested in being a Patreon supporter, please go over to patreon.com/Realm of the Mist, and just $1 a month gives you exclusive content and helps our channel out greatly. Guys, again, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode.